Hello, friends. Welcome to part 2 of Getting Started with Profit First. I am Shannon Simmons, the CEO of Fit for Profit. And last week, I was here to tell you a little bit about why we feel it's important to be working with fitness and wellness businesses, why they have a soft spot in my heart. So if you didn't catch that, definitely go back to last week's recording or the previous recording and check that out. Today, I want to tell you a little bit about the system that we use to help business owners manage their cash so that they have a better cash position in their business, and how I found it and why it's important to me. So I like to tell all of our clients and everybody that I come into contact with that everybody has a money story. For some of us, it's a good money story. For some of us, it's not a good money story. Some of us, it creates guilt and shame. Some of us, it creates motivation and excitement. Part of our job here at Fit for Profit is to get those of you who are experiencing guilt and shame. And by the way, I was one of those people that had a lot of guilt and shame around money before I found Profit First. Our job is to move you through that guilt and shame to a place of excitement, abundance, and motivation. So I want to tell you about where my guilt and shame comes from, because like I said, we all have it. And I think it's important for you to know that even I had one. So I am an accountant, right? And a couple years into my business, I had a tax bill that I could not pay. And I mean, that in and of itself creates shame for an accountant, because my job is to help you have enough money to pay your taxes. That's what I thought my job was. And I was doing everything I thought I could to help clients be in that position. So I was telling clients to be saving 20 to 25% of all of their revenue in order to be able to pay a tax bill at the end of the year. And I wasn't doing that myself. So I was not practicing what I preached. And that's embarrassing, right? And created a lot of shame for me and guilt. Guilt, who wants to owe money, especially not to the IRS, right? So that happened. Can't change it. What I can do is move through that and figure out how to be in a better place from now going forward. And that's exactly what I did. So the next fall, like that happened in April, and the next September, actually, I was introduced to this system called Profit First. And it radically changed my business. It's super, super simple. I'm going to get into the details of it next week. But basically, it's opening 5 different accounts and putting some of your money in each one of those places. That way you don't spend all of it. And lo and behold, one of those accounts is a tax account. And so as soon as I read that, and actually before I read that, I opened a new bank account, called my tax account, and started putting some of my revenue, every deposit, into that account. Then I found Profit First, and it took it to another level. And then I realized this is why my clients are also not profitable, maybe can't pay a tax bill, definitely are not paying themselves what they're worth. And every single one of my clients and every single business owner, in my opinion, needs to have this system in their business because we are our own worst enemy when it comes to money. And I'll talk more about that as well next week. So, you know my story. We've all have stories. Like I said, I could go back and tell you stories from my childhood. I did not have the best money story there either. Lots and lots of stress around money, definitely not coming from a place of abundance. But now that I have a system that supports the things that I desire and require and should have in my life, I'm definitely moving towards that place of more and more abundance and excitement around money. And so it's so good to let go of that guilt and shame and see where people can be. And I've never had a tax bill that I couldn't pay ever since I implemented that tax account. And our clients are also definitely not able to pay tax bills. So they can, that's a double negative. They can pay their tax bills. And maybe more importantly, because most of our clients, like I said last week, are working multiple jobs, are not paying themselves what they're worth, we have been able to get them on payroll and paying themselves on a consistent and growing basis as soon as they implement Profit First. So again, as you're going to learn next week, one of those accounts is an owner's pay account. And I can't really say that any one account is more important than another. It really depends on your story and what's more important to you. But eventually we want to get you to a place where you are paying yourself every single time you pay payroll to anybody else, or on a consistent basis every 2 weeks or every week, whatever it is, and that amount is steady and growing, because consistency and growth are really what the name of the game. And we do that through the owner's pay. We help people quit those second jobs. We help people relieve the stress from their life partner that is contributing all of the income to their personal financial position, because as the business owner, they're not able to do that. So they're relying on a spouse or a life partner in order to sustain their personal household, and they are sustaining the team and the business by not taking payroll. We want to change that, and we've done that for many, many, many clients. We just had a client this week who was able to, over the course of 6 months, reduce her operating expenses by 50%. And now all of that money is going into her personal bank account through payroll on a regular basis. So it's consistent. We're not having these like highs and lows, which a lot of business owners experience as well. And that is all based on psychology. It's all based on the way we treat money and a lot of our resources. And we're going to get into that a little bit more next week. But I just want to remind you that we all have our story. Mine may be better or worse than yours. Kind of depends on how you think about taxes and your pay and whatever your story is. But we all have it. There's no reason to feel guilt or shame around it. We just need to acknowledge what that was and find a better way to get to a place of abundance and excitement around our money. So as I said last week, if this was helpful whatsoever and you think it might be helpful to anybody else in your life, I will put the link below to join the group, and I feel free to invite people into the group so that they can begin to move past guilt and shame around money as well and come to a place of abundance and paying themselves on a regular, consistent, growing basis, and paying a tax bill that will come as well with that. So, hope everybody has a great week, and we will see you back here next week.